stamping friend. I am so glad you're here to join me for your weekly card class from Maine. My name is Julie Maxon. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am here to share a really exciting card class with you. And tonight we are using the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. I had to look at the name. I haven't decided yet if it should be called Sunrise Sailing or Sunset Sailing, because I feel like it really could be either or, obviously, right? But you might be a morning person, you might be an evening person. Regardless, this is a really great bundle, and this is a new online exclusive. This is not available today, but it will be available starting tomorrow. So tomorrow is May 6th. It's a very, very important day. Hi, Tammy. Tomorrow is an important day because it's the first day that you can order from the new annual catalog and get any of the new products that are in stock. Hi, Patty. So tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow's the day that you can start ordering. I am so excited. I still have to make out my list because I always procrastinate and wait, and I have all these thoughts in my head about what I want to order. But make sure you're checking out the new in colors. If you haven't joined my in color club, then you're on your own to get the new in colors. I recommend getting them. They're really fabulous. We're actually going to use a few of them tonight. I feel like we're showcasing 3 of them tonight. Of course, you know that cloud cover is my favorite. If you've been watching any of my past classes, I'm always into the cloud cover. But we have a couple of the colors we're going to use tonight as well. But that's not all you can order starting tomorrow. There are all of the dies. I can't wait to get my hands on the banners and the alphabets. There's a new circle punch. I'm really excited about the new circle punch. In the comments, let me you prefer dies or punches. We're going to talk about dies and punches a little bit. And Tammy said on here, it's also my birthday. So yes, tomorrow is my birthday. And I think it's really great that Stampin' Up! Is letting me shop on my birthday. So as a demonstrator, I get a great discount. And I get Stampin' Rewards. So you as a customer, when you're ordering, you're getting the Stampin' Rewards that you can use on your future purchases. But demonstrators also get a discount. And I want you to know that if you're not a demonstrator yet, you don't have to do what I'm doing. You don't have to share classes. You don't have to go to parties and craft fairs and all those things. All you have to do is get a better discount on your product. So Stampin' Up's also running a new demo sign-up discount that's good May 6th through the end of the month, May 31st. So you're getting an extra bonus as you sign up to be a demonstrator. And then you're going to get your own demonstrator discount and your own Stampin' Rewards. And all of those Stampin' Rewards you may have earned up until now transfer over to your account as a new demonstrator. So if anybody's interested in more information on that, I would love to talk to you about joining my team. All right, so we're going to get going here today with, I gotta look at it again, Sunrise Sailing. Before I do, I'm just a little bit distracted tonight because my grandsons are sitting in my bathtub right now, and my granddaughter too, actually. So my family came over tonight to have birthday dinner with me, and because as tomorrow's my birthday, I'm also going to my other granddaughter's track meet. So I'm like booked solid here for days. But anyway, they stayed so long and played so hard that my son and daughter-in-law asked if they could have some tub time before they took them home. So they're actually in the tub. So I'm doing this class, but I'm kind of listening in the background because I know what they're up to. They're having a good time. So it's a party. It's really a party at my house right now. Hi, Lori. Lori, you had a question for me earlier. My grands are here. They're still here in the tub. So I haven't been able to get back to you on that. But we're going to do Sunrise Sailing. Hi, Sandy Coy Emery. It's good to see you here. I'm going to get over to my workspace. If you still need a catalog to shop from, let me know in the comments or private message me. I got a bunch of those. Thanks, Sandy, for the birthday wishes. You're so sweet. I have some cards, and one of them is from Sandy. I have to open my cards. I'm excited about that, too. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of fun things. So the card class. Let's get going, Julie. I might be a little bit miscombobulated tonight, and it really is. The pitter-patter of little feet in my hallway. I can hear them going by. They might be headed back downstairs. They're going to go home. I already gave them hugs and kisses, and I'll FaceTime with them tomorrow. But it was a really great visit. All right, let's get over to Sunrise Sailing. And please continue to say hi as you jump on. I love to know who's watching. I will be popping this video over to my YouTube channel. So I'm always happy to see all my friends over there as well. And Sunrise Sailing. So these are the card kits. Now, I forgot to mention in the comments, first of all, this is an online exclusive. And yours will come with less dog hair than mine. So Sunrise Sailing's photopolymer. I actually have all of these mounted up except for 2 sentiments. So you can see here, clear stamp set, photopolymer, I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sentiments. I have 4 cards that I share during my card class, so I chose 4 sentiments. Could you use more than 1 sentiment on the front of the card? Absolutely. You load them up if you want to. But I did not use 2 of them, so we're going to just kind of go through them real quick. Congratulations. You deserve the best. You're destined for great things. This is a really good one for graduation, by the way. Ahoy, one of my favorite ones, Ahoy. Happy retirement and best wishes. Now, this is a sailing boat. So my husband was in the Coast Guard. I know a little bit about of sea-bearing vessels, but not nearly as much as him. So I'm not going to even pretend that I know what's going on here. Sailboat. All I can tell you is I get seasick personally. If anyone else gets seasick out there, raise your hand because that is me. But we have some two-step stamping in here, and you wouldn't even know that this might be two-step stamping, but it actually is. So it's really awesome stamp set. So this is the stamp set. We have the Sunrise Sailing dies, if you're interested in the bundle. These are all the dies that come. I put them on magnet sheets. So this is what's really cool. And we're going to be die cutting everything tonight because I did not die cut ahead. So we're going to do this like start to finish. These are obviously intended to be waves, right? But they're different. There's different waves on them. So the tops of them are each different. And there's different little cutaways as well. So they are two distinct dies that you can use together if you want to, or separately. Of course, we have the big die that's going to cut out our sailboat. And this is also a hybrid embossing folder setup. So when we get to the embossing folder, we're going to talk about how this die works in our embossing folder. But before we get to that, let's look at the rest of the dies. You have some birds that are going to be super teeny tiny, but it's really meant to be a cutaway, and I'm using it as a cutaway tonight. You've got a, we'll call this like a mid-size sailing boat, and these are just dies. They don't go with the stamp set. They don't die cut anything in the stamp set. These are just like imagery dies, right? And then there's a tiny boat and then two clouds. And I love the clouds so much. I've actually got them on two different cards. I really enjoyed the clouds as I was designing this one. The Sunrise Sailing Hybrid Embossing Folder is super fantastic. You're going to be able to see it here better probably than, oops, you don't need to see that right now, than if I just showed you this. But this is the hybrid embossing folder, and this die is meant to come into this, into the folder and lock into place so that you can cut and emboss your sailboat at the same time. This is a really awesome setup here, and these come together. So when you order this, you get the embossing folder and the dies in one package. So this is absolutely fabulous. And if you don't want the stamp set, but you just want to get the dies, you'll still be able to make some really great imagery with your embossing folder. And you've got some really cute things that are just going to go with a lot of different items that you already have. This is the Sunrise Sailing Bundle. It is available starting tomorrow. So tomorrow, May 6th, online exclusives for May, plus the new annual catalog. So the new annual catalog is going live. We are super excited. So this is the last time that I'm going to show this to you like this, because next time I show it to you, I'm going to be able to open it. Hi, Sandra Johnson. Hi, Corey. Oh, Corey from the hospital. I hope everything's okay with you and your family. Hi, Corey. Good to have you on here. I hope I can bring some light and love into your evening here. So this is going live tomorrow. Lots of good things in it, as mentioned. This is an online exclusive though, so it's not in the catalog, but it is online. There's lots of brand new things that are online, so it's really exciting. All right, let's take a look at the card kits. So these card kits that are going to come your way in the mail, there's 4 of them as mentioned, so you're kind of getting an idea of the vibe of the colors that I've got for tonight. A little bit more of a masculine appeal, because I feel like the first thing you're thinking of with this is kind of more masculine, right? So it's, you know, sailboat, great for Father's Day, graduations, could be really good thinking of you cards, all kinds of stuff like that, right? But it doesn't have to be just masculine. And tonight's cards, while they are more masculine, I want to say that this Sunrise Sailing Bundle is my featured bundle for my May Card Maker Club. What does that mean? It means you can get this bundle at the online price without the shipping and the tax when you're in my May club. And you're going to get 4 more card kits designed with this stamp set and the whole dies and the embossing folder. You're going to actually get 2 of each when you do the Card Maker Club, and you get ribbon, you get an embellishment, you get all kinds of good stuff. But the paper I wanted to share with you is not going to be masculine at all. So if you're not interested in the sailboat, you still can get the May Card Maker Club, because the opposite side of the paper that I'm going to send out is going to be very floral and feminine. So it's going to be one of those chameleon card maker clubs, and I'm really excited to bring that to you. I love to change it. You guys know I love to change things up. All right, so we have a sneak peek here of Secret Sea and a little bit of cloud cover. And somewhere else in here, there's another color. Oh, it's inside one of these envelopes, but we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that as we get to each card. So I'm just checking messages real quick one more time. and we're going to get to it because we got a lot to do tonight. So for our very first card, I'm going extreme nautical theme here. Extreme nautical theme. Just saying that, right? So I do send a lot of die cut pieces. These are the textured notes. I think these are textured notes. Did I write that down? I may not have. Do you remember last week I tried to test you and test myself multiple times. Textured notes dies. I think I have it correct this time. This one right here though is Nested Essentials. So I sent you a bunch of die cuts and you're getting these with this mock-up right here. This is an embossed piece. Now this is a really great embossing folder that you'll want to work with into your sailboat cards. This one's called Soft Waves. It's meant to be, if you're following along with me, we're still talking about bees, but this is meant to be soft waves. It is the perfect embossing folder to have with your sailboat, right? So this is one that's been out for a while, so you may already have it, but if you don't, think about this one. And this is coming to you already embossed, so you'll be able to check it out. You can choose to use the side that is embossed or the side that is debossed. They are definitely different. This is Basic Beige. You guys remember that Basic Beige came out a year ago as a new neutral color, and it looks really fabulous with white. We're mixing in some Misty Moonlight, so we're getting that nautical vibe, right? The white and blue is very fresh. I happen to love blue. I know some of you do too. Now, this piece right here may surprise you. This comes from, and I don't think I have my list in front of me. Oh, it's the one with the airplanes that came out last year, and I'm just gonna have to like peek at this really quickly. I have a list downstairs, but you know, this is last year's catalog. Anyone that's going, oh, you can't show the catalog. This is last year's catalog, which is still current for today. All right, so this paper right here, Adventurous Take to the Sky DSP. The Take to the Sky DSP has this really cool map in it. And at first I wanted to use the green side because I thought this chart works for sea-bearing vessels. This would also work. So I love to kind of mix and match and see what's going to go with what. So I originally intended this card to be green with all of this white and the green, and then I thought, no, I turned it over and I fell in love with the blue. It's so much more nautical. So when you get this home, feel free to change it up if you want to. You're gonna have a little piece of like a chart or a map that could work for your boats, just saying. So but I'm using, these are the parts and pieces you're gonna get. Let me show you the colors we're using before I show you the card. So Secret Sea. Now I know that not everyone has the Secret Sea yet. This is an in color that comes out tomorrow. We're also using Misty Moonlight and Pecan Pie. Secret Sea is such a chameleon color that you can just use navy for this card tonight. You could use black. You could use your Memento black. As long as you have a dark blue or black, you'll be able to change that out if you don't have Secret Sea yet. That's my secret. Just saying it's a secret. Okay, don't tell anybody. All right, so here's the card. I'm gonna stop teasing you and show you the card. This is the very first one. You're destined for great things, and I feel like this would be a really great graduation card. College grads, all of these things are coming up, and even if nothing else, maybe someone's gonna, you know, go get a new job. They're leaving their current job and they're going to get a new job, right? Maybe they're moving to a new location. There's lots of reasons you would want to encourage someone about their life choices, right? Like things that are going to happen for them in the future. So this is our card, really pretty, super simple and easy. A lot of it is assembly because I have so much done here for you. The only things you're stamping on is your sentiment piece and then your little boat. And we're going to talk about the two-step stamping. So let me get into my glue here and we're going to start putting things together. I can hear my family getting ready to head out downstairs. They must be all clean, all my grands. I had 3 grands in the tub together. They're so cute. But they had a fun adventure day at Mimi's and we had a nice dinner together. They spoiled me a little bit. They decorated for my birthday tomorrow and treated me a little bit. It was really nice. So we had a really good visit. And it's funny because they know that I do an 8 o'clock on Mondays. Come live every Monday that I can and do an 8 o'clock card class. And they're like, oh no, we'll be heading out by 7. We got to get home, get the kids in bed, and we just hate to say goodbye. So they were like 7:30 came, 7:40 came. They're like, can we put the kids in the tub? I'm like, absolutely, please do. All right, so I know they love the tub. All right, so I'm going to continue to use the blue side up only because it really matches this piece of die cut that I have right here. I don't have the green one available. When I work on these card designs, first of all, it takes me It takes me quite a bit of this and thatting because I change my mind a lot. I cut green. This was mossy meadow that I was cutting earlier. I cut all kinds of stuff that I was like, I'm going to use this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then I change my mind. So I have a lot of parts and pieces that are left over. They go into like a little leftover bin, and I let my daughter and granddaughter come and pick through, and they do the cutest things with all those little extra pieces that I do. So just gluing some things together. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this, and then we're going to get this one put together. I can't wait to get to the stamping with you because it's going to be so awesome. Now each time that we use this set on a card tonight, we're actually doing something different from a previous card, right? So I'm going to really share with you 4 different ideas and ways you can use this bundle. If you already have this, you must be a hobby demo, right? Or you just signed up and got your starter kit at some point, because you know what, that kind of went crooked on me a little bit. I think my glue set. So decisions. I'm gonna go this way. My die cut got a little sideways there on me, but here we go. So this has already been very popular, I feel like, with demonstrators. Now you're gonna see that I probably should have stamped this and put this down. Let's see if this is going to still fit in here. It will. So because this is on dimensionals, sometimes I do this. I can still squeeze this in here and put it exactly where it needs to go. And if need be, I'll pop this piece back up. So this should have gone down first. I am doing way too much talking and not enough like working here. Misty Moonlight is going to be our sentiment piece. Let me find my sentiment. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you here from Southern New Jersey. Now, when you stamp this over here onto this little banner, you're going to stamp it as far to the right as you possibly can because it's got to fit. And that's about as far to the right as I possibly could get it. This little T is just thinking about heading south off my paper. Or maybe it's east or north, east, west. I'm not sure. Now, if for some reason you were following along with me and you put this down before you did this, and you have a dimensional that this bumps into, you could trim this with your scissors and then kind of tuck it in so it's not, so you can still get that in there. But we are gluing this flat, so that's the good news, right? We're going to put some adhesive on there, and we're going to tuck this in. We're going to kind of slide it. And this is where you just decide how much of your designer paper, you know, where you want this to line up. And feel free to have this come over, you know, as long as it's not off your card front. It doesn't matter if it lines up exactly with the white or the edge of the card or, you know, however. So there we go. That's all set. Look how far we've come already. All right, so now we're going to do the sailing boat, the sailboat. This is like the most fabulous thing. Now, this is a pretty good size stamp, and I'm sending you along the right piece of white cardstock, and we're going to do Secret Sea. Now, this is where I said if you don't have Secret Sea yet, you can do black or navy. So I don't know if you can see. Ooh, we're going to get into the sea jokes now. Last time we were doing the bee jokes with the bumblebees. So this one it almost looks like it's black. Like you would look at that and think, wow, that's black. But it's not. And it's really nice because I feel like we get a better coverage from these water-based dyes than we even do from the Memento, right? So you're just going to go ahead and put this image right down here on your paper. And I do have to clean up my stamp because we're going to use this boat more than once. So there we go, just like so. And it looks kind of black, right? But it'll dry a little bit lighter, so it almost looks like it's a little bit more navy. A nice dark navy, really. All right, let me just make sure I get this off of here because we're using this boat again, but we're not using it in this color. So let me just clean this baby up a little bit. I like this chamois because I can just kind of pick it up and wipe down, much like all the sticky countertops and benches and all the good stuff that I just had to clean up in my kitchen a little bit with the grandchildren. Oh my goodness, the stickiness of them. It's amazing. Okay, we're going to come back with Pecan Pie and Misty Moonlight. This is where we're doing our 2-step stamping. And you wouldn't know it, but there is a little piece for the hull of the boat, and then there's kind of an accent piece for the sail. So you can see it right here. This is the Misty Moonlight. So it doesn't cover the whole thing, but it gives you some quick color on the sails. If you're into that, like me, raise your hand, right? I loved a quick color. We're going to do the hull in Pecan Pie though. So let's get these in order. As you're getting your new ink pads, make sure you take stickers off the back. So you can see here, there's 2 stickers missing here. I put one on the front, Pecan Pie, and then the other one right here goes into the well so that when these are facing up, you can see which one is pecan, you can see which one is misty. So that's that's a helpful. So if you haven't ever done that before, grab those. Grab them off the back. They're like little vinyl stickers. Here's our two-step stamping. We're going to line this up best we can right here. And voila, look at that. Super easy, right? That's done. Like that was all I had to do to color that in. That is like my kind of coloring, because quick and easy is like fab to me. All right, let's put pecan pie back. I feel like this is a really good wood color as well if you don't have that one. Oh my gosh, that's a newer one within the last couple of years. Now we're going to ink up Misty Moonlight. We've got our sails, so we're just going to kind of just like that. See how beautiful that is? And it gives you that little hint of blue. That's a very classic nautical. I think this would look really nice, obviously, with a little bit of red or yellow. I mean, you want kind of a brighter color, perhaps. Maybe you don't, but I kind of like this together. Now we're going to go ahead and die cut, because as mentioned, I did not do any of this ahead. So we're going to bring in my die cutting machine. We're going to bring in my very, very messy plate. I don't know if you can see where I die cut some different things on repeat, like huge repeat. That was for my April Card Maker Club, and I die cut lots of things for my card members, and they get 2 of each. So they're making 2 of each design. So there was a lot of die cutting happening on this, and I just kept using the same places and the same places and the same colors, and it really put some nice grooves of cardstock into my bottom plate. All right, so just like that, we have our sailboat die cut out. And it comes out in just like so, right? So it's all together. Nothing comes separate on that one, which is kind of nice. It's nice to not have to worry about having 2 pieces that you've got to somehow now put together. And I don't want this side to go too far. So let's bring this over here off to the side. And then we got to bring our card back, and we're going to finish this one up. Now for this card, again, super easy. You could put this on dimensionals if you wanted to, or you could do it just, you know, kind of keep it flat. You know, I'm kind of feeling like maybe we'll try it here and see what we like. Now for the bottom here, this is a little bit of a smaller area. Take your pick tool, just bounced out at me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little bit kind of from the side here. Is that kind of fit right there? It will. Look, it's perfect size. So snip away your dimensionals if you need to, if they're a little bit too big for the space you want to use them on. We're going to take off the backing. And then we're going to put this on. Now I have my boat over here, my ship, boat, whatever you want to call it. It's just kind of just leaving the rectangles off to the side a little bit. Trying to think if I want to maybe put it over this way, only because my rectangles are on there a little bit crooked. So I'm going to kind of keep it off to the side over this way this time. And this one's popped up a little bit. This may leave me a little bit of room for some ribbon or an embellishment, which I did not use on these cards. I did not use any embellishments. I felt like they looked really nice just like they were. I would recommend Baker's Twine, like the neutral Baker's Twine pack. They have some really great things that you could use there. A lot of the new ribbons and all that kind of stuff, I don't have access to them yet because we weren't able to order everything early for our pre-orders. So a lot of my items are basically retired. They're going away. But there we go. You're destined for great things. I love this card. I hope you guys love this one too. So let me check your comments and see how you're doing. I don't see any new comments. I hope you guys are still hanging out with me. Give me some love in the comments if you're watching and everything's still good. Show me some hearts because I need to see that you guys are hanging out with me. All right, card number 1 is done. Thanks for loving on this one. All right, let's jump into card number 2. So card number 2, we're going to go this way with card number 2. So card number 2 is going to have another new in color. We're bringing in Darling Duckling. We have Gray Granite and Lost Lagoon. This is a really great neutral color palette as well. So I think this one's going to be fabulous for, you know, anytime maybe you're doing some masculine birthday cards. Everybody out there tells me masculine cards are the hardest cards to make. And and then, you know, I share some ideas and I hope that you guys are loving them because they tend to not get a lot of love. Like everyone's like, oh, I need more masculine card ideas, but then no one likes them. So I don't understand the situation there. But this is really awesome paper. This is kind of neutral paper and it's the textured, something with texture. Let me see if I can find my paper pack. Again, my notes are downstairs. They're not up here. Woven Textures Designer Series paper. That's from Woven Textures. So this is something that you could use Either way, because you can see that these colors work together. We've got gray granite, pecan pie. This is darling duckling. In case you were wondering, we're going to put a little yellow in here. We've got, again, some crumb cake. This is a crumb cake base, in case I didn't mention that. You're getting stylish shapes, squares, and then I've got a piece of Lost Lagoon. So you can kind of see how nice all of these colors go together. And again, you can use either side of this paper. It's going to work. These are the colors that we're using. So let me find my card so I can share it with you. Flo, hello. She says, this bundle is one of my faves in the new cat. I love it too, Flo. Isn't this awesome? I had to have it. Lighthouses, anything with ships on it. It works for me really well. This is the card we're making, and I'm using the Ahoy, which I absolutely love. We're going to do some little embossing. And this is the imagery dies. This is the medium one. I showed in the beginning the different sizes. I can look at the, at those again with you. We've got the stamped little seagulls there in the background. We're using this circle. This is a 2-inch circle. I love circle punches. Again, there's a new circle punch coming in the annual catalog starting tomorrow. It's a size that I don't have yet. I forget what size it is. I have the 1 3/4, the 2. I have the 2 3/8. I'm not sure, I can't remember what size it is, but I know it's a new size because I don't have it yet. So this is going to be kind of a sunshine. We're going to die cut some clouds. These are coming to you all set, and then you're doing your ship from here. Now, if you don't have this bundle and don't intend to use it, you still have a lot of pieces in your kit that you can use to create whatever kind of card you want. Now, I'm going to go rogue here. You can see I've used the darker basket weave here. This time I'm going to use the more natural, lighter tone. So these to me kind of look ropish. Ropish? Is that a word? Kind of like, I mean, I know that they're supposed to be baskets, but when we're thinking about nautical things, sometimes we're thinking about ropes, right? And knots and things like that, right? So I kind of felt like this could be something that might be seen on a ship. So we're going to do this paper instead of this one, just to see which one we like better. So I need you to pay attention because I want to know, as we get to the end here, which of these cards you like. Now this that I put this background paper here of this cardstock is Pool Party. Pool Party is the perfect color, right, for Lost Lagoon, Pool Party. Really good colors when we're talking about our sailing vessels. And this Pool Party really brightens up everything on this card. So that's why I chose the Pool Party. All right, let me see here. We're going to do, I think I'm missing, no, I'm not missing anything. Okay, just looking. I might be missing a piece of paper to work on though. Let me see if I can find a scrappy paper. You know I love me some scrappy paper. I have all kinds of things to use. I have grid paper, I have the glass mat, and most of the time I'm just grabbing scrap paper because I just feel like it's just easily taken care of. Like I'm dual purposing something that I've already used once, so I don't feel bad about getting rid of it after that. Okay, so let me look here. We've got Darling Duckling, and this is, look how cute that is. It really does look like a duckling. Now that I've used it a little bit, I'm like, aha, light bulb moment. I don't have this labeled yet. I will be labeling everything. Like this is my Pool Party. So I label them all and I keep them they're exclusive blending brushes for my needs. But all right, let me look to see what else we're going to need here. We're going to need Lost Lagoon and we're going to need gray granite. I think that's it. So I tend to go back and forth between daubers and blending brushes. There's no, I mean, use whatever you've got, right? But sometimes there's a method to the madness. Again, I put my little yellow well color in there. Look, we'll call that a well color. It's in the well. We're going to just come through here, and this is intended to be our sunshine. So I wanted to definitely give this kind of a nice going around it, and darker in some places, lighter in some places. But I want to make sure I keep the center part a little bit natural. I don't necessarily want to ink up my fingers, but that's fine. I don't want to do the whole thing. I just want to leave, like, so there's some nuances and shading on that. So there we go, Darling Duckling. We dipped Darling Duckling. There we go. I believe this is my first blending brush that has the new ink color on it. I will have to label that, although it's very, very easy to tell that's Darling Duckling. So there's our little sunshine. Again, if you don't want to put that on your card, you don't have to. You can do different things with it. This is gray granite, and this is crumb cake. And I wanted to share with you that you don't have to always do tone on tone. I tend to do tone on tone a lot, but you can change it up. So feel free. If keeping it simple, I didn't want to grab out another ink color for this card. And so I just thought, you know what? Gray granite will darken down this crumb cake, and it kind of gives it a worn look as well because I'm leaving the entire center untouched. There we go. This is going to get our little birdies stamped on it. Just looking to see if there's anything else. We're going to bring Lost Lagoon in a little bit. All right, let's do our little birdies. We're going to do those in Lost Lagoon. And then we have other things we have to die cut and so on. So the little bird that is in the set, there's only one. You get one, so you have to stamp him individually, him, her. And I'm going to put them, first of all, I'm going to look at the side that looks pretty on my stitching here. We're going to put them in the upper left corner. I'm going to do a couple of them. You know, you could get fancy and do more if you wanted to, but they're really probably not going to be seen. So just wherever you feel comfortable popping that down. And Tammy says she likes the lighter one already. That is awesome, Tammy. Thank you. I know, I can't wait to see it done. I'm like, hurry up, Julie, get it done so we can watch it. But we have to do some die cutting first. So we're going to die cut a whole bunch of things, and we're going to probably do it all at once because I am a do it, go kind of girl. So let's get these off of my little scrappy paper. We'll bring that back in. So let's see what we can fit onto our magical plates here. We got the base plate, die cutting plate, and then we're going to do clouds. Back this up just enough so we can find our clouds. We got to find all of our things. There's some die cutting to do here. So here's our clouds, 1 and 2. So they're going to fit on here. Just like that. We are doing, I'm going to put my pecan there, and that's going to be the whole of the boat, and it almost looks like, well, technically it's half of a sail, but we're going to do the rest of the sails right here in the gray. So let me get that on here. And then we've got this piece right here, Lost Lagoon, and we need to pick a wave pattern. Everyone wave, wave, give me some love of waving. Let's go with this one. I don't know which one I used in my first one. I think I used this one in the first one. We'll do this one. We'll do the opposite. Okay, so you pick a wave pattern, and basically, I mean, this is really long. This is way longer than what we got going on here. So you can kind of fit it on here however you want. Just kind of when you're doing this is what I recommend. I recommend you look at the edges and kind of work your waves so that it looks like the wave doesn't start in the middle of the end of your paper, if that makes sense. We're just going to pop this on here and we can get this in. We can do all of these at once. I got them all on here. We're doing it. All right, we're going to just put this down. Now, none of these are covering up something that I stamped first. These are all just imagery, so I don't have to be as careful about the placement as long as nothing slides. I say that and you never know, right? Nothing slides off, then we're good to go. So here's our little clouds. I love these clouds. I don't know why I find them so attractive, but here's our little clouds. We got 2 of them, 2 sizes. And we have, look at how cute our waves are. Now see how I said try not to have it look so weird at the one end, and it does. You could trim this though if you wanted to. So that's just an oddity there. On my other one I did probably a better job at getting that lined up, but it's a different wave pattern, and we're going to doctor that. So that's okay. In crafting, there are no accidents, there are just opportunities. That's a quote, right? So in crafting, there are no accidents, just opportunity. That is an opportunity for me to get out my snips and doctor that up. That's what that's all about. So we're going to go ahead and fix that here as soon as I put my dies down, because I don't want to throw my dies in the garbage. Just my scrappy papers. Okay, let's bring in our, speaking of scrappy papers, we're going to bring this back in because we're going to go ahead and first we're going to fix this. So what do you guys think? Like maybe we should just snip it a little bit. We're going to do it like it's just a downward snip. Just like that. There. Now it looks a little bit better, right? So we got rid of that weird oddball piece. We are going to do our Ahoy. So this is a great place to do your sentiment, and the white is really nice and bright as well. So we're gonna heat emboss that. And that's only going to take just a second. Now if you didn't want to heat emboss it, you could grab out a dark color and you could get that stamped on top of the Lost Lagoon, but we're going to go for the heat embossing because we want everything to be really fun, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use my Emboss Buddy and get the static off of there and get everything set up here. So I got my white embossing powder, my little spoon here, and then Versamark, and I need the Ahoy. Here we go. Here's Ahoy. You want to make sure that your Versamark ink pad is really nice and wet for your best stamping and having the powder stick to it and then emboss nicely. So here we go. There is Ahoy. That worked out nicely. All right, now before I turn on my heat tool and blow powder everywhere and dry up my ink pad with the heat, I'm going to move those aside. And then we're going to start our gun up so that we can get it starting to warm a little bit. I'm going to bring in my little reversible tweezers to hold that, and we're going to do the magic of the heat with the white powder. And as you can see, it's going to get nice and shiny. I love this. And again, it's a very nautical look, right? The blue and white is just really classic nautical. And now that's done. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug my heat tool. I like to unplug it when it's not in use. My husband is in the safety industry, and he's always like, safety third. So if you guys think safety first is the correct answer, it is not the correct answer. It is safety third. Does anyone know why it's safety third? You guys are probably thinking I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, he's always saying that. Like, if you hear somebody say safety first, he's like, nope, safety third. And I asked him one time, I'm like, why do you say safety third? Isn't safety important? And he said, it is so important that it is not the first thing you should think of. You should already be thinking about it, so it should be the third thing you're thinking of. And I'm like, okay, safety third. It's his motto, right? So I'm just bringing in Lost Lagoon, and I'm deepening down all of the edges, and that really helps the white here of the sentiments embossing to pop. The Ahoy. And it looks kind of, it looks like water, right? So that is where I was going with that one. All right. Oh my goodness, you guys, I forgot to do the sails. We are not quite done embossing, and I unplugged my thing and everything. I unplugged my heat tool. We're going to plug it back in. Good thing it's right here under my desk. All right, so I forgot about this. So as you can see here, and this is obviously optional if you're not interested in, you know, doing such a thing, but I thought it would be really cool to go with the from gray to white. So we have more embossing to do. I'm sorry, I gotta find it. It's right here. And we're gonna cover this one back up. After this is pretty much assembly on this one anyway. So let's bring in all of the things here, right? Now remember, my birthday's tomorrow, so be kind to me in the comments. As you're like, what is Julie doing today? I am just squirreled away. I'm already like just thinking about all of the things ahead. And then we're going to go ahead and bring in the same stamp that we use on our bigger sailboat on the first card. Works just as well on this medium. I can get that off of there. Now, if you have extra, it's okay, right? If you this one is harder because it is such a big area that you're kind of covering with, I should say that in reverse. It's a small area that you're covering with a big stamp. Let's go with that, right? So it's a smaller area. All right, we should be heated up though here, so bear with me. We're heated up. Hi, Lois. Hi, Linda. Oh, Judy, how is it going? Judy, I'm glad you love this set. We're using this set for our May Card Maker Club. And I'm going to be sharing not only these 4 cards with everybody that's watching online or on YouTube. For my Card Maker Club in May, you're going to get 4 more designs. The option to get this bundle at a savings. And it's going to be so awesome. I am really excited about this one myself. And you got to know that I should be excited. Like, this is the first, like, I have all kinds of pre-order things. And obviously I don't have everything that's new, but I have a lot of pre-order things. And this is the first thing that I'm choosing to share that's brand new. Because I usually don't share the brand new things until right before you can order them. I think it's kind of mean for people to go online and share new things weeks and weeks before you can actually order them. Like, that's just kind of like showing somebody a candy bar and saying, sorry, you can't have it, maybe later. Like, no, you want it now. I always want it now, right? So I try to hold off showing everything that's new until right before. So you can order this starting tomorrow. So I feel like this is a good week to show these products, not 3 or 4 weeks ago. So this was the first thing that I'm sharing with everyone. And it's something that, I mean, like, it's the first thing, right? I picked this one first. All right, so we die cut the little medium sail, right? We die cut our pecan. Oh, Let's just come in here. I'm looking at what I did. Let's come in here again. This gray granite is working on pecan. It worked on crumb cake. Everything's getting just that little bit of darkness, and it doesn't have to be the tone on tone. Now this is meant to come together. So this is a two-piece situation. So here's the sail right here, and I'm putting the adhesive on here, and I'm going to line up this part of the sail lines up perfectly with this part right here. So you can do that, and leave that little tip. There's a little tip at the top. Tip top. There's a tip top on this one. There is a tiny, and probably my camera won't focus enough for anyone to see it, but there is, I'm going to put this like kind of behind the cloud. There is this little brown at the very top of this. There's like a little ball, if you will, right? So make sure you keep that. It's cute. It's cute to see. And there's our boat. Now you can make these in all kinds of colors. I have so many ideas for this set. I'm just really excited about it. All right, I think I have everything now ready to go. We're just on to final assembly, and then we can judge. You know, y'all want to judge out there, right? We're going to judge our cards and see which of the DSPs you prefer. So we've got our two stylish shapes squares here, and I'm going to move this paper because then we can really see what's going on. So we're going to bring in our card, we're going to bring in our sunshine, we're going to start laying this stuff down. So we use Darling Duckling. We're going to put our sunshine up here, and then we're going to add in some clouds, and just see if I had any like messes going on here yet. So just kind of following along here. I'm just kind of looking at what I've got, and there's no right or wrong as you're putting these on here. I do like to kind of snug them together so that I can bring this in here. So I've got this piece right here, the squares, kind of in the middle of the clouds. Now if you wanted to like float them up higher, you definitely can. Anything can be anywhere, right? And we're going to go ahead and just glue this one straight down too. So it's not on dimensionals. We haven't gotten into the dimensionals just yet. But we're going to pop this one on here. Wiggling around on me, but there we go. All right, now we're going to bring in some dimensionals, and we're going to put them on the back of that piece. And I feel like I had them in my craft room like a second ago. I don't know what happened to them. My goodness. Has anyone seen Julie's dimensionals? Oh, like seriously? I don't know sometimes what goes on in my world. Do I have them more like handy? I'm like in the middle of rearranging everything. So are these dimensionals? Yes, these are dimensionals. We're going to open a new pack. And then as soon as I open this new pack, I will find the almost full sheet that I just had out. I swear I just had it out like 2 minutes ago. Here we go. Moving on. This is why I always recommend, if you're not really sure what to add to your cart, to round something around, you know, up or down, well, not down, of course, but up. Throw in dimensionals because you're always going to need dimensionals. All right, so we've got 4 here on this little strip of very doctored up sea waves. So you can, hopefully you can see, these are different. Now, if you wanted to put 2 together and stack them, really cute idea to have your boat like kind of in the middle. So there are options. We're going to go ahead and bring this down here we're going to go right about here, I think. So mine is just a little bit shorter than was intended because I did cut off an edge here. But you can see that that was not an accident. It was just something that needed to be done, and it worked out beautifully. It was just work in progress. Okay, this one I did pop up as well on dimensionals, and we're going to, again, some super tiny little sections here. So we're going to just snip off of the edges, and that way we've got like a little piece at the bottom here for our boat. And let me see if I can get this one on here too. That would be fantastic. And maybe another piece right here. This is what the edges of your dimensionals are meant to do, right? You're going to find all kinds of ways to be able to fill in the spots just perfectly. Little fussy, we'll call this dimensional fussy cutting. So at home, this is a new term, dimensional fussy cutting. Now this part of the boat, this little tiny piece here in the middle that holds between the sail and the hull is really delicate. And as you're using it, please be careful because it will kind of like, it'll bend. It bends a little bit, it gets a little bendy. So just be careful, mindful of that, right? We're gonna just pop this on here and can I maybe manipulate that just a smidge. Just like that. Okay, I think I have, if we're looking at them, I think I have everything on here that we need. And now I've got to know, Do you like the original, which is the darker background of DSP, or do you like the lighter color, the new one? So now it's your time to vote in the comments while I clean up here for a second. I need to know which of these you prefer. And I know Tammy said she thought she was going to like the lighter one. I'm not sure, Tammy, if you still like the lighter one or not. I think I like this darker one personally, but that's just me. And I thought I might like the lighter one better. So let me check your comments and see what you're thinking. A sunset behind the sailboat and instantly a Key West sunset. That's awesome, right? And Patty likes the lighter one. Okay, good to know. What's funny, Linda, is you're saying sunset sailboat. This is called sunrise sailing. And at the very beginning of this class, I said it could be called sunset sailing. I think it should have been sunrise sunset sailing. I think it should have had both words in there to indicate it could be either or, sunrise and sunset. Now, no one's ever going to remember the name of this stamp set because I've got so many different words in your mind. Sunrise, sunset, not sure. Okay, Flo likes the darker one. Lois likes the darker one. Lori likes the darker one. Okay, good to know. I think I do too. But now that I've made them both, when you're at home making this, you're going to know which one you like better. The darker one does make it like kind of pop a little bit more. I bet if we change, this is what we're going to talk about. If we change some of the colors on here, the lighter one probably would work really nicely too. But that is card number 2. We had a little fun with some color there. And Judy likes the darker one. Awesome. Thank you guys for letting me know. Okay, we're going to move on to card number 3. Now this one has some interesting colors in it. And I'm going to show you the inks. This is fun. Pretty Peacock Pool Party. Again, these are great nautical colors, right? And then Granny Apple Green. So kind of that green and blue. And this is a really fun card kit. I can't wait to share with you some of the things in this one. Okay. So you're going to get a few pieces here in your kit. You're going to get these framed scenes, and this is in Pool Party. I love this set. This is a die set. It comes with a stamp set, but I recommend at least the dies. If nothing else, get the dies. I sent those out in a card kit recently because sometimes I start loving dies and I just use them over and over again. Now, as I'm using them over and over again, it kind of proves the value of the dies to you, right? These are dies that, yes, they go with a specific stamp set, but they can go with any stamp set. And I love to mix and match them in. Stylish Shapes, Nested Essentials, the Everyday Arches, the Textured Notes. There's so many dies that just work universally. And this frame is perfect, right? It's screaming for a sailboat, is it not? Like picture perfect for a sailboat. Now you may be looking at some of these pieces. This is Granny Apple. This is Pretty Peacock. And you're like, ooh, what is this beautiful stripy paper with the blues and the greens in it? Does anybody know before I flip it over? I bet you don't. I bet you don't know which this paper is. I'm going to wait a second before I show you. All right, we have a whole bunch of white papers in here. Maybe we have more than we need. No, we do not. We have exactly what we need. I'm going to show you why you have 2 of these. And then we've got this one. I'm just looking to see what I've got here. So before I flip this over, and I'm going to give you a second to guess, just in case anybody really wants to guess what designer series paper this is, because it might surprise you. It's always funny to see the back side of a designer series paper and go, oh, I had no idea. No kidding. All right, so we're taking the inner side of the frame. Again, this is your frame. This is your die cut. You're getting both pieces. So you've got the frame and the inner piece. So grab this inner piece, and we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. All right, so we're going to bring this over here. Now keep in mind that the frame is going to be in a portrait frame position. Okay, so just if you're thinking about portrait frame, then you know where we're going with this. These are the little seagulls. There's 3 of them on this die, and this will die cut into the paper, into the cardstock. When you do this, I want you to kind of angle this so that the top, like if you're looking at it like this, so this is the top, and it's going to kind of go at an angle this way from the right side on down, right? So just as long as it fits on here is the most important thing, right? So make sure that that fits on there. We're going to indent some seagulls into this paper. While we're die cutting, let's grab one of those white ones, and we're going to do some more clouds because I really love these cute poofy clouds. I don't know why. Now, if you have the Umbrella Girl, the Umbrella Days bundle, this is a great one for that too. We'll just die cut these things for now. That'll give us a head start on our card kit. And then we're going to come back through and we're going to do more, but this will give us a start. Okay. And let's see how this looks. Now again, this is the little seagulls, right? So look at that. It cut away. I'll put this white paper behind here so you can see behind. Isn't that awesome? Now these little seagulls, which are still stuck in here, I'm going to pop this into my work surface here real quick, and I'm going to get at least a couple of them out. I got 2 of them out of here. I could bring in my take your pick tool, but look how tiny these are. They're very, very tiny. And to adhere these, I'd probably recommend adhesive sheet, right? They're super small, but we're not actually using them because we're going to take advantage of some white cardstock, and then our little, there we go. This is a trick in case anybody's wondering, why is Julie throwing her dies around? Cindy Fish taught me this trick and I absolutely love it. It's kind of satisfactory. If your dies are stuck in, if your paper is stuck in your dies and you bounce your dies on your surface a little bit, they usually pop out. Just, you know, don't bounce them so hard that maybe it goes underneath your table or something like that. Don't lose them. I don't want to be in charge of you losing your dies, but it really does work, and it's kind of quicker than doing the usual way of getting rid of the paper out of your dies. All right, I got to read your comments. And no one guessed. All right, so I have to get into this because we have to, oh, look at the card. I didn't show you the card yet, did I? This is the card. This is the card we're using. This one we're actually going to do some blender coloring with. The Stampin' Blends, I should say. So this is the turtle DSP. So now you can see the back side of this. This is the turtley cute DSP, but we're using this great nautical stripey. And this is going to go on pretty peacock. So let's go ahead and get some of this glued down so we can get to the fun parts of this card too. So we're going to put this on here. This is matting at a larger size than the 1/4 inch difference, right? So it's more of a 1/2 inch different. So it gives you a bigger mat. Now before we put this down, I'm grabbing that other long white piece of cardstock that was in your card kit. And this is going to help us to brighten up our card a little bit. When you have all those scraps that you are like, what am I going to do with all these scraps? One of my favorite things to do is just put them on. Don't throw them out. I mean, well, you know, paper's expensive. We all know that, right? Find a way to use them on your cards. So this may be a scrap that you have left over. So layer it onto your card base. It really helps to brighten up this card just by putting this little bit of white on here. So I recommend using your scraps in that kind of a manner. That's one of my favorite things to do, is just add paper to paper, right? Oh, lots of layers. Makes it look really pretty. It adds a lot of interest. And people will think like you're a genius. Now I'm going to go a little crazy with dimensionals here. I'm going to go a little bit rich here. And we're going to pop these off and then pop this down. So we've got our white cardstock onto our card base. The cloud, the piece that we die cut the clouds from is the same size. So there's 2 in the kit. So you don't have to be confused as to like, wait, which one is which? We're going to just, they're the same size. I did that on purpose so that you're not confused, because I would hate for you to cut one and go, oh, I cut the wrong one. It's okay. It's okay. Now we're going to go ahead and glue these clouds here up to the top. And I'm not going to put glue all the way over because I'm going to have this kind of stick out a little bit, right? So I don't want to put glue where it's going to be floating. These are like floating clouds. Floating clouds on the card. Wow, that's like a tongue twister today. Okay, so we're going to put these 2 together. So they're kind of up here together. I just really like these little clouds. All right, so I need to find some stuff. I'm looking for the frame that I did. Where did it go? Remember, I did it and it had the cute little birds, and I die cut the birds out. And wow, this is the night of Julie's losing stuff in her craft room. Losing everything. Oh my goodness. All right, let me just review. Did I leave it somewhere over here? Did I accidentally throw it in my garbage bin? This is not good. Where did it go? Oh my goodness. Did it fall on the floor? Okay, I'm going to have to start hiring an assistant to come help me while I'm live. I cannot finding it. Wow, this is crazy. I didn't glue it on there already, right? My goodness, you guys, we might have to start over. Oh no. This is what happens during a live sometimes. Okay, everyone, just relax for a minute. Maybe you want to go get a drink. Julie's going to look through all of her stuff again to see where did it go? I totally lost it. I think I have to die cut a new one. I don't think I can find it. I just don't think I can find it. Oh my goodness. I got so excited to talk to you about throwing your dies around. I totally have lost that. All right, so this is the frame die. Just in case you were wondering what it looks like. This is gonna be an extra long live because we're I'm giving you the extended version now. This is the extended version. Let's see if I can find a scrap in my bin here that will work. Yes, this will work. I keep my scraps in these cute little just sleeves of 8.5 by 11, and we're gonna go ahead and die cut. Oh, I gotta die cut this all over again. I'm so sorry. I honestly cannot find that piece. So we're gonna just we're just moving on. So I hope this doesn't happen to you at home. Like I hope that you you have all the things that you need. All right, so here we go. We're gonna die cut this. And the reality is I just need this piece right here. So we're gonna do those little birdies one more time. So in case you missed it and you're coming back around, we're going to go ahead and do this again. Now I'm not going to put this down because we're going to just keep working with it. So I'm putting the little birds at an angle. Here we go. We're going to die cut it. And I'll bet you in like 5 minutes, I will find the piece that I am missing. It'll probably be found really, really soon. So here we go. Here's my little birdies again. We're going to continue onward. Oh my goodness. What a day. What a day. Okay, so let me bring my scrap in. We're actually going to doctor this up. So hopefully you can see in here, we've got some waves going on. So let me find the waves. We're going to use this waves that kind of come downward. And we're going to come in with the Pretty Peacock ink. And we're going to go ahead and just stamp some of these waves. Now they don't fill in all the way. So as you see them. And I like to add a lot. This is one of those things where you just kind of keep stamping a little bit. So just, this is multiple stamps. You can do as many or as few as, however you want, right? That's in the Pretty Peacock. And now we're going to come through with Pool Party. And we're going to bring in our Stampin' or our blender brush. And we're going to come upwards from the bottom. And we're going to kind of just fill in our little ocean here, right? I wanted it to be different tones of the sea colors. You don't see a lot of it. See? There's more sea jokes in here. You're not going to see a lot of it, but you're going to see some of it. And if you wanted to, you could mask this a little bit if you're like afraid of like how far up you're going to come, but don't worry about it. We're actually going to kind of bridge the middle here with our sentiment piece. Okay, so now we're cooking. We're recovering, right? So this is recovery day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this white piece of cardstock that's in the kit. I'm going to turn this over. So this is the back side. I'm going to add some glue, not like everywhere. Obviously, I've got this little cutaway, so I don't want, to put the glue in the wrong spots. And I'm just going to cover this over from the back. Now, if this is a little bit too long, which I feel like it might be, what you can do is, first of all, you could not worry about it at all if you didn't want to. The frame is going to come over top of this, and it's going to cover up that white that's sticking out. If this bothers you, you can also take your scissors and trim that away. So right there's two options there. Now while I have this this frame in the Pool Party out, because I left it out on purpose so I could use it again, we're going to go ahead and ink up and just kind of do the frame here. So just kind of catch the frame here. This is going to help to differentiate the frame, give it kind of a different tone from this background piece that we're working on, kind of our picture piece. So there we go. Some of that on there. It looks pretty. It's definitely different from, so it kind of gives it an extra color on there. You can go heavier on your ink. I feel like this ink pad is really light. I think it needs to be re-inked. So I'm going to recommend, while you're shopping for new ink colors, if you're not in an in color club, if you're not in my in color club, you need to get your own in colors. Grab the re-inkers at the same time. Highly recommend it. You gotta have it. All right, so we're just working from the back side here, and we are putting this frame and the inner piece together. This is what's going to hold this together. Is just put those dimensionals around the edges, and then put a couple of them right here in the middle. Just like this. So as you flip it over, now it's just one piece. It hides that little white piece there as well. We'll grab these off of here. And we'll be back to our normally scheduled card making. We'll resume. Now I'll probably find that piece any second now. So you can see the little white birdies here. It looks like there's white seagulls in there, but they're actually die cut in. How cool is that? All right, let's come this way. We're going to bring our piece over here. We're going to kind of come this way with it. Right about here. Okay, we're getting there, guys. Whew, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Like, panic attack. I'm losing stuff in the craft room. That's just not supposed to happen when you're live. Okay, let's get to some more stamping. All right, you've got 2 pieces left in this kit. We're going to do Granny Apple Green. This, you could do the sentiment in Peacock. And you know what? I think I'm going to, because I want to see, because I debated on doing this in Granny Apple or in Peacock. Best wishes. I feel like that is a really great sentiment. Really kind of very versatile, right? Best wishes. We're going to put this on here, and it doesn't really matter where you put it on here because we're going to trim it a little bit on either end. We're going to angle cut the ends. But isn't that beautiful font? I love it. All right, so the Best Wishes in Peacock is maybe my favorite so far. We're going to check it out. We're going to go ahead and angle cut this. You could leave it uncut if you wanted to, right? But I'm going to go ahead and trim that up a little bit. That's going to go over here. And now we have to do this fabulous sailboat, which we've used once already. And we did on our first card, in case you're just tuning in. We've used the boat once. And this time, we're going to do it in Memento ink. And that's because we're going to use our Stampin' Blends. And the blends really work best with Memento ink. Now, you have seen me sometimes use just regular ink. I could use Secret Sea, absolutely, right? Like I did on the first card. But when you use the blends, you do run the risk, if you use regular water-based ink, you run the risk that it could potentially, the blends could bleed through the other inks. But the Memento, they don't bleed. So when you're going to do heavy coloring, like this is like a lot of layers of coloring, I'm going to recommend the Memento. It is a lot of fun to experiment though, to see what you prefer the best. Like what's your favorite? All right, so now maybe you want to see how did Julie color this? I used quite a few blends. I'm going to bring them in here real quick. We're going to start with Smoky Slate. I have the light and the dark. So I'm doing just all of the whole down here. So I'm going to do the entire thing in light. And this Smoky Slate light, I noticed, is extra light. I think I need to refill this. And we're going to go ahead now and just add in a little bit of shading with the Smoky Slate, the dark color. And just add some extra lines in there. There you go, just like that. And then if you want to come back through with the light one, this is the blending, right? So these are meant to blend, so you can kind of just squiggle over that line between the two, and it's going to kind of give you a medium color in between. All right, so that was it. So easy, right? We're going to go on to Pool Party. I have the light Pool Party, and I'm going to just, so that I can kind of throw the color down quickly, I'm going to go sideways with the big, broader brush and just kind of cover the majority of this. And I did the whole thing. I didn't leave like a space in the middle. You probably could if you wanted to. If you go outside the lines, no worries. We are going to die cut this, right? So it's not like the end of the world. It might show a little bit. All right, that's the light Pool Party. And then I got a little crazy with some of these colors. I used Pretty Peacock. This is this dark? It is light. It is the light Pretty Peacock. And I'm just going to kind of come along the edges here on this kind of the left side. So just kind of coming in a little bit, cutting in a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just kind of come part way up. And I think I'm going to stop right there. And now I'm going to bring in Granny Apple. And this one is dark Granny Apple. So any combination of greens and blues that you have, you know, feel free to just kind of have some fun with some color. I'm going to add in a little bit of this. And I'm going to come down here. And it's going to look really weird until I start blending things together better. Okay, so just sit tight. We're not quite done yet. This one is the dark Pool Party, and then I think I have one more color. Oh yeah, I have the light Summer Splash. So I think I want to do light Summer Splash next. There's really no rhyme and reason here. I don't have I didn't write it down and go next. I did that. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. But it's fun to add the extra colors. I might add a little bit of that like right in here. And then I think I need to add some like right around here where this one is. So you can see here the variety of colors coming in, and I'm just laying them over. The best thing about, I know this is going to swivel here for a minute. The best thing about these blends though, is that you can go over other colors that you've already done, and it doesn't pill up, it doesn't get crazy, right? So just add in some color. Now, I am leaving so far, right? There's still a whole bunch kind of in the middle, like little triangles. I'm cutting and pulling things toward the center here, but I'm also leaving some of it like not really worked. Now I'm going to kind of just color over a lot of it. I'm just going to come through and color over. And again, there's no rhyme or reason here. This is just my artistic, kind of my Van Gogh work here. And we're just going to kind of color over that. And the last thing I'm going to do is probably come back with my light pool party and just go over all of it again. And just kind of blend that in and go over some of that. And it may not even look as beautiful as my first one. Sometimes I cannot recreate like the crazy coloring that I did. Again, this will change a little bit depending on how long it sits. But it has a definite different color look to it. It's definitely different. If you're a fan of just like a couple of colors, absolutely go for it. I just wanted to try to kind of blend these together and have some different colors in it. Something that you may not necessarily see. All right, we're going to go ahead, and there's the C word again. C, beautiful sea sailing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and die cut our little sailboat here. So let's just go ahead and line this up. This is pretty easy to do. Some of the dies, when you die cut after you've stamped, are difficult to line up. Like I've seen some that I'm like, is that correct? Is that absolutely like, do I have the die lined up? This one is pretty easy to line up. So it's not like one of them that you really have to think about too hard. Okay, I think we did it. I think we did it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put this on with some dimensionals, which are right here. Those didn't get lost again yet, but the night is young. We still have one more card to do. And the bottom here, I'm just gonna kind of take advantage of, I think right about here, there's a nice little squiggly line that could come right here and work for me. So I think we should be good here. We're going to go ahead and put our sailboat on here in this this beautiful card that we're making with our little frame. Now I know that we're going to cover up some of our seagulls. I'm sorry about that. We're going to maybe bring it like right over here. There we go. So we might cover up a few of your seagulls depending on how they landed over here on your page. Now to put the sentiment down, instead of trying to figure out where I'm going to exactly put them on the actual piece of paper, I'm going to put it right down here on my card base and know that I'm going to layer my sentiment right here. But I can put a little bit of my adhesive on this end, and that will hold onto that'll hold tight over here on the ship. We're going to put it right about here, coming across. I feel like there's a smudge of either ink or glue on here, just distracting me. But there we have it. Best wishes. Okay, I need to know what you think. Like, do you like this card? Is this just way too crazy? We got some crazy colors here, right? This Granny Apple is a bright color, but I'd like to know if you prefer the Granny Apple sentiment or the Pretty Peacock sentiment. So I'm going to let you look at that just for a second while you think about that. Check in. Judy says, when I lose stuff, I really start talking to myself. Judy, you're going to give yourself the best advice. So I highly recommend that you're doing it completely correctly. Like if you have to lose something in your craft room, definitely need to talk yourself through it. It is a process. I'm glad that we're hanging out together. You're like my new best friend, Judy. Thank you for that. Seriously, I'm still kind of looking around like, where did it go? But I don't know. All right, so Flo says she likes the colors. That's awesome. Thanks, Flo. I think I like Pretty Peacock sentiment better, personally. I feel like the blue tones down the green on this. This is kind of a wild card, but it's definitely kind of, I don't know, I really like the colors in it. The designer paper gives us those colors, you know, kind of backs up the peacock and the granny and all that good stuff. And stripes are so nautical, so that's kind of helpful there too. So there we go. Kathy, hi. She likes Pretty Peacock, and Judy loves the card. Thank you, guys. I like the Pretty Peacock too. Okay, we're gonna move on to our final card tonight, so we can get you into bed early because there's a big ordering day coming on tomorrow, right? All right, so this is card number 4, and this one, I'm gonna take you on a creative trip. Now, if you like quilting, if you like working with material, you might like this. This is, by the way, Secrecy, which is like the perfect color for this whole sunrise sail. Was it sunrise sailing? Sunrise sailing is correct. I had to look. And cloud cover. These are the colors together. So the Secret Sea, white, and cloud cover. Really pretty, right? And then you've got another cloud cover, and then you've got some crazy designer series paper here. You're like, where are we going with this one? How is this supposed to be a sailboat card? Let me talk to you about how this is going to work out. First, let me find my ink. We're using Balmy Blue, which is kind of weird, right? I don't have cloud cover ink yet. I chose to use Balmy Blue with this one, and wherever Secret Sea went, because we used it on our first card, this one's coming back in. So this is just going to be Secret Sea and Balmy Blue. Hopefully you can see C-A. I'm saying C all night. That this they do work. The blues work together, and I love blue. Like, I know I've got a few of you out there. You love blue too, and I'm really excited about that. I love that you love blue. All right, here is our final card. This is where we're going to actually take advantage of the embossing and die cutting for the sailboat. So this is the sailboat right here in cloud cover with Balmy Blue edging, which is why it just has that little bit of a different look to it. Really cool. Now, this is my attempt at, I appreciate quilting and all that good stuff. So we've got the dark designer series paper here. It's going to represent like a sea. And then I'm hoping that you're getting the sunset vibes here, like kind of the purple colors, the orange colors into the cloud cover. So this is meant to be kind of a sunset sailing sample, right? And this one says, you deserve the best. So we're going to talk about how to make this, because there's a couple of steps in here that you need to do. And the first step we're going to do is we're going to use the waves to create a background. So this is on our stamp set. There's two stamps with waves on them. So you've got the longer waves right here, which is what we're going to use first. We use these squiggly ones in the frame just a second ago. There's your boat. Obviously, I've been using this. There's the two-step stamping for the hull and the sails, the little bird, and then your sentiments. In case you missed the beginning and you're like, whoa, what is all this stuff? We're going to do background stamping with the longer waves, and it is this works out really well. So in case you haven't tried this yet, check this out. So just know which way you open. That's always a secret. See the secret? See secret? Oh my gosh, I can do this all night, you guys. All right, so Secret C is open. We are going to go ahead and, sorry, I'm laughing at my own jokes. Somebody's got to laugh with me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and ink this up, and we're going to start at the top. You can also start at the bottom. Doesn't matter. You're going to start, and you're going to do the very top or bottom. Look at how cool that is, right? This is our background stamping with this. Now I'm going to turn it this way so we kind of have continuity of which way this is going, and we're going to do the bottom. So here we got top and bottom, and we're going to do the same thing here, and I'm just keeping the kind of the longer, straighter line on the outside edges. We're going to come here on the outside edge, and we're going to do that one. And hopefully this is showing up okay on camera. I'm not really sure. These are dark colors, but oh my goodness, I really like Secret Sea as well. It is really cool. So just like that, I don't know if you can see it, but we have stamped this 4 times, and it almost gives us the look of a background. And I know we add a lot of layers and things, but it is back behind the card base, and that's really cool, right? You know what? While we have Secret Sea out, let's do our sentiment, which is, you deserve the best. You deserve the best. I want you to remember that. This is a secret message. You deserve the best. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and pop this onto, and again, these are little scraps. These little scraps that I'm sending you, I'm calling these 1/2-inch pieces. Sometimes they're like not quite 1/2 inches exactly, because I'm not really cutting them. These are all the scraps that I have from making, I mean, you probably have tons of these in, at your disposal, right? So keep these on hand. These are great for those skinny sentiment pieces. These are all scraps, the cutaways when you make mats, different sizes with your white cardstock. I love reusing. I mean, like, wow, reusing the paper is awesome. All right, so this was step 1, right? So we got those things done. We're going to come back to our sentiment here in a little bit. Let's come through here and talk about this smaller cloud cover piece is going to be your sailboat. So just set that aside for right now. We're going to glue these together. So you're going to adhere cloud cover. I've got like a clumpy thing here at the top of my glue that's driving me a little bit wonky. Okay, cloud cover is going right here on top of the white cardstock, right? So you've got nice little matting here. Now you're going to start adding these guys in. So we're going to go ahead and put the darkest Secret Sea color. Oh, guess what? This is from Celebratory Sips. In case you're wondering what DSP this is Celebratory Sips. And if you don't like this whole idea, like, you can probably use the opposite side and do something, clever and creative and cute. Or maybe you're going to like these colors together anyway, even if you're not making a sailing card. You might go like, that's really cool. So you're going to mat these as these designer pieces go down, right? They're going to mat along the outer layers. I feel like the purple should be closest to the sea. Like as the sun sets, it's usually prettiest like right there. Now you can cover over some of this if you want to as well. Like you can decide how much you want to see of everything. See. Oh, maybe I should dry fit first. Like you have room to overlap is what I'm trying to say. Like you have room, like now I'm probably going to bring this up a little bit because we're trying to get it to the top. Let me bring this in so you can see. See? Okay. I think we're doing okay. I'm just kind of, making it up here as I go, right? Like, again, 2 cards should never, ever, ever be the same. Never, ever, ever. Okay, I'm going to leave a little bit more of purple there. And then we're going to bring in, this is meant to be our regular sky color right here, right before, it gets too sunsetty. We've got a little bit of cloud cover here. Now I realize that there's patterns on the paper that really don't indicate that it is a sunset, but it's just the vibe of the sunset colors. I just think it really works. It works for me. Let me just go with that. I like it. I think it's really cute. All right, so we're going to go ahead and emboss this. So this is great just like it is, but on here, I don't know if you can pick up the texture of the sea. It is really cool. And then the seagulls are up here in the sky. So let me show you that real quick because it's amazing. All right, so let me bring in die cutting machine. Now for this one, we're bringing in just the base plate. We're removing the number 2 plate, which is your die cutting shim, and we're removing the 2 clear plates. Okay, and we're bringing in our embossing folder. I guess we should talk about the embossing folder here a little bit. We're gonna line this up so that the boat, the ship, if you will, is about in the middle of this paper, right? So I don't know if you can see it or not, but here's my boat, here's the hole right here, and then obviously you can see my designer paper. We're going to rotate this, put the hinged end in first into the rollers as it goes, and we're going to top it up with plate number 4, which is the gray specialty plate. This is used for the hybrid embossing folders and the 3D embossing folders. And here we go. So we're going to go ahead and bring that in and around. And it's going to, it really is a quilted look. So I'm going to show you the back side. So you can see here, hopefully you can see that it's indented here. So it is embossed because it's not quite as super impressive here, although the waves in here are really cool, I have to say. All right, so here's our little, you can see where our little sailboat is. We're going to set this aside. We're going to bring in the hybrid die. Let's set those aside. The hybrid die with the embossing folder. So on the side that has the Stampin' Up logo, so you can see it right here as you open it. If you put this one here around the sailboat with the cutter edge facing up, okay, that's what you're doing, and then it will sit there a little bit, right? You're not obviously going to take it through an earthquake or anything, but it'll hang out here for a little bit. It shouldn't wiggle around too much. And then you're going to put your cardstock right over top, and you're going to close it. You should be able to see the boat there as well. And if you flip it over, you should be able to also see that the die is completely surrounding the ship and that you aren't cutting anything off. You have like extra, you're good to go, right? You have everything on here is as it should be. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, bringing in our base plate. We're making sure our folder goes in with the closed end first. And even with the die in here now, we're still using the same exact embossing sandwich. So that gray plate is going on top. And when it comes out, this is so cool. It die cuts. So here you go. So here it is. Die cut away, which you could use that for something else if you wanted to. And here's our little boat, and it's got some really great grooves in it. It's embossed and die cut at the same time. Is that not amazing? Now, this is not Stampin' Up's only hybrid embossing folder situation. They've been doing these, quite frequently with multiple embossing folders. And every time it happens, it's just like fascinating to me. I think it's fascinating. I love it. All right, we're going to come through here now and with a little bit of balmy blue because I just needed to add something to this. And again, I don't have cloud cover ink. Cloud cover ink is that really difficult ink, is not working nicely in the foam ink pads. It changes, it's a color shifting color. I got to use it at the convention and it does look more gray. Oh, look at that, I just inked up all my fingers. It does look a little bit more gray than the cloud cover blue, so that Stampin' Up's not super happy with it. So they're not releasing it to customers, just kind of using up their stocks to demonstrators who choose to purchase it until it is sold out. So that is what's going on with cloud cover. All right, so that is why we're swapping in some different colors. Now the ink spots, there will be a Stampin' Spot with cloud cover ink in it. So when you order a set of Stampin' Spots, or you can order ink refills and blank Stampin' Spots, you can make your own cloud cover. So there's no reason to despair completely. There is definitely works in the progress on getting that done. All right, we're going to go ahead and assemble this now, super easy and quick. Because we did all the hard work on this card really is the designer series paper, making it look like we just quilted up the most fantastic pattern with some awesome materials. And we are just paper crafters. It's so much easier to be a paper crafter, I think. I am not a sewer. I always envy like the skills that people have of the different arts like sewing and knitting and all those things that I cannot do. But it amazes me also when people look at paper crafting and say, oh, that's just too hard, I can't do that. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, it's so simple. Like compared to some of the other arts that are out there, like people just haven't tried it yet and they just don't understand that it is like the best ever, right? Agree with me here. This is like the best ever craft in the world. I think so too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pop this on here. Now I'm going to put this right over top of the sailboat image that was embossed originally, right? So it's really, there's a no-brainer there on where that needs to go. I'm going to angle cut this end, and then I'm going to trim this end down of my sentiment piece closer to the Y of the U so that it doesn't cover up too much. I think I can get a dimensional in right about here, and then some glue on this end. Now, you may have noticed that I have not used ribbon. I did not use any embellishments. You definitely can add them here. I'm trying to decide how far over I want this to go. Right about there, maybe. So there are things you could add to these. I did not add anything other than extra glue that shouldn't be there right now. That's what I did. But that's okay, because you can see that this card is finished. And I hope that you think it's just lovely. I hope this gives you the sunset vibe. I want to know if you guys got sunset vibes over there. Hi, Pat. Oh my gosh. Hi, Jess. I am so glad Chris is home from the hospital. Please take care of your family. Replay will always be here. Oh my goodness. Judy thinks I'm funny. Yay. Thank you, Judy. I love that you think I'm funny. Okay, so let's take a look at our cards tonight. I just wanted to read comments there for just a second. So there we go. I love to know which one of these is your favorite. We have the quilted card. We'll call this the quilted card because I feel like it's kind of my ode to quilting. We have the green card. We have the, this is crumb cake. So we'll call this like the sunshine card because this has sunshine on it. And then this one, our nautical card, you know what? I really like this one. This one is just, it's simple and it's pretty and it's just really, I love them all. So these are the 4 cards that I'm sharing with you here for the weekly card class. Again, I'm going to be using this bundle for May Card Maker Club. Card Maker Club is awesome if you haven't tried it out. You get a free gift with your first time joining us, which is really awesome. You get lots of little freebies too and lots of fun surprises. I will be doing 4 new designs. Again, it's going to be totally different paper, which is going to be a little bit more feminine in nature. So this is my more masculine look at them, but all of my cards typically will have extra die cut pieces and just different ways that you can get all of those fun things on there. I mean, like, oh my goodness, I'm hoping that you're loving it. Flo likes the green one. Oh, the happy colors. Thank you, Flo. I'm so glad you love that. Okay, I'm going to come over and hopefully transition back to me. There we go. I wanted to tell you, in case you're still hanging out with me or watching it late, my hair looks really funky. Okay. I won't be live with you next Monday, so I'm really sorry in advance that I'm going to miss you. So let me tell you a quick story in case you're still hanging out and you're like, I'm just riveted, Julie. What do you have to say? So next week is Stampin' Up's incentive trip to the Grand Floridian. And I'm going, thank you so much for helping me to get there. So I'm taking my sister-in-law, Cindy. She loves Disney. Like, she's the biggest Mickey Mouse fan, Disney fan ever. So I'm going with someone that's really excited to be going to that area. So that's going to help me to be really excited also to go on this trip. So I was originally going to fly out of Bangor on Tuesday morning, really early. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can squeak in a class Monday night. I can totally do this. I will have a class. I will have card kits that, you know, you can check out all week. And then the Bangor airport decided they were going to repave their runway. And they're doing it in like just different sections. So they let me know that I can't fly out of Bangor on Tuesday morning. Actually flying out of Portland, Maine on Tuesday morning, which means it's a 2-hour drive away. So I have to go down overnight to Portland. So I won't even be home Monday night. I have to go to Portland Monday night so that I can sleep in a hotel room for about 5 hours and then get on a plane like really early to go to Florida. So I will not be live for a class next week, and it makes me really sad because I thought for sure I'd be able to get one in before I went. But I will be in Disney next week, Tuesday through Sunday. I'm going to have a ton of fun. I know I will. I'll be sharing lots of pictures and things on my Facebook page so that you can kind of journey with me on my very first incentive trip that I'm attending. This is not the first incentive trip that I earned. I was supposed to go to Mexico last year, but that just didn't happen for me due to family circumstance. So I'm like looking forward to going to Disney, but I am also sad I won't be with you next Monday. So I will have a different ordering special next week, but it won't be a card class. So I hope you guys enjoyed this card class because it's got to keep you happy for another couple of weeks. My intention is to come back after my trip and do a card class on that Monday. So I will see you again in a couple weeks. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You guys are like the best. I'm going to try to come back over now and see your comments. Thanks, Judy. Love them. Pat likes the green and nautical. Yes. The bottom right is the favorite. Bottom right. Lori, I love that one. Nautical card. You guys are awesome. Thanks for loving them. All right, good, good, good. So if you have any questions on these cards, maybe you popped in partway through, replay is available on Facebook for 30 days. And then after that, it's available all the time over on YouTube. Facebook only keeps videos that are live for 30 days now, and then they delete them. So make sure you're checking it out. I will be sharing these pictures of these cards all week. This week in my Facebook posts. You'll get some things in emails as well. And I cannot wait to see what you guys are all ordering tomorrow as the new catalog goes live. Have fun checking it out. If you need help with anything, message me. I'm always happy to help. I have to go make out my list. What time is it? It's almost 9:30 here on the East Coast. I need to make out my list because I got to do some shopping soon. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate your love and attention so much. And until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody. See you when I get back from Disney.